I want surveillance of these people. I want surveillance if we have to, and I don't care. Are you ready for this, folks? Are you ready? Oh, they're going to make it such a big deal. They're going to make it so big. He said something so politically incorrect. That's why we're going to hell, because we're so politically incorrect. Such a big deal. Such a big deal. I want surveillance of certain mosques, okay? If that's okay. I want surveillance. And you know what? We've had it before and we'll have it again. Hey, I watched when the World Trade Center came tumbling down. And I watched in Jersey City, New Jersey, where thousands and thousands of people were cheering as that building was coming down. Thousands of people were cheering. So something's going on. We got to find out what it is. I do want surveillance. And I saw people, and I saw them on television, and I read about it on the internet, and I read about it. So they said, oh, we can't find anything, Mr. Trump. The reporters are calling all day, all night. They want to find out, did Trump make a mistake? So I have some good people. And they checked and they checked. And believe me, it's being cleared off, plenty of stuff. They don't like that, because that's not good for the liberal cause, right? But they don't like it. And lo and behold, I start getting phone calls in my office by the hundreds that they were there and they saw this take place.
And are now back in New York, being held in connection with Tuesday's attacks. Ayub Ali Khan, 51, and Mohammed Jawi Azma, 47, taken off the train they had boarded after their flight out of Newark, like every other flight in America, was ordered down after the attacks in New York, Washington, and Pennsylvania. However, what no one outside the terrorist task force knows is that just a couple of blocks away from that Jersey City apartment the FBI raided yesterday, and where they had evidence removed, is another apartment building, one that investigators told me, quote, is swarming with suspects. Suspects who I'm told were cheering on the roof when they saw the plane slam into the trade center. Now, police were called to the building by other neighbors and found 8 men celebrating, 6 of them tenants in the building. The FBI and other terrorist task force agencies then arrived, and the older investigators on the task force recalled that they had been to this building before, 8 years ago, when the first World Trade Center attack led them to Sheikh Omar Abdul Rahman, whose Jersey City mosque lies between the 2 buildings getting attention today. And the older investigators remembered that suspects who eventually got convicted for the first Trade Center case, followers of Sheikh Rahman, lived in the building where these same 8 men were celebrating the destruction that they saw from the roof. Calling this a hot address, the task force investigators ordered everyone detained. And they saw something else, a model of the Trade Center on the roof, along with sets of binoculars, the kind of model used by an architect or an engineer for a presentation, an investigator told me. They knew, he said, that the planes were going to hit, and they wanted a ringside seat. Remember, part of what motivates Osama bin Laden against the United States, he has told followers, is that the United States put Sheikh Rahman in jail. Bin Laden has said that for that, the U.S. must pay.
Are these people happy? Are they joyous now? Are they celebrating?
Oh, absolutely. They're celebrating. God. There's one report, several witnesses who say this happened. They got on the roof of the building to look across. They knew what was going to happen. Yeah. They were waiting for it to happen, and when it happened, they celebrated.
Bernie Kerik, who was the New York City police commissioner during the attacks and was born in New Jersey, confirmed there were reports of celebrations in several New Jersey towns in a phone interview with One America.
There were celebrations in Brooklyn, around Atlantic Avenue, in Queens, Patterson, New Jersey, I think Jersey City as well.
Trump spoke out against critics with evidence that he says supports his assertions. He linked this video from New York radio talk show host Curtis Sliwa.
People celebrating, cheering, when they had actually heard that the World Trade Center had struck.
Trump also linked a New York Post editorial from September 14, 2001 that stated celebrations took place in Patterson, New Jersey. The business mogul then cited a Washington Post article dated shortly after the attacks, quoting the text verbatim at a rally in Ohio.
One of my people comes in. This is a story from the Washington Post on September 18th, a week later, 2001. In Jersey City, within hours of two jetliners plowing into the World Trade Center, law enforcement authorities detained and questioned a number of people who were allegedly seen celebrating the attacks and holding tailgate-style, tailgate, you know what that means? Tailgate. That means football games, Ohio State, thousands of people in parking lots, on roofs. Tailgate is a lot of people. Tailgate's not two people. And holding tailgate-style parties on rooftops while they watched the devastation on the other side of the river. Okay? Washington Post.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
That reporter he is talking about is Serge Kovaleski, who now works for the New York Times. As you can see right there, he suffers from a chronic condition that impairs movement of his arms. A Times spokesman says they find it outrageous that Trump would ridicule the man's appearance.
Or when he mocks and mimics a reporter with a disability.
Now, Serge Kovaleski, your reporting turned up the fact that Hernandez's link to the murder last week may have also led investigators to link him to the double homicide in Boston last year.
That's right, Rick. After Mr. Hernandez's name surfaced in the killing of Odin Lloyd, Boston police decided to take another look at Mr. Hernandez.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
That's right, Rick. After Mr. Hernandez's name
And I watched a general recently on television, and they said to him, "What do you think about ISIS?" "Oh, ISIS is very tough. Oh, ISIS is very tough."
Yeah, I don't consider myself a workaholic. I mean, I work, but it's not work. It's like you. I mean, I love what I do, so it's no longer work. It's not like work. I mean, work to me is going on a 2-week vacation. If somebody said you have to go away for 2 weeks, you're going to Africa on a safari, there's not going to be any phones, you know what? You get me out of here, right? So that's to me, like, that would be work. You know what? You get me out of here.
Because, you know, the banks now, they can't do anything. They're run by the regulator. When you see the president of the bank, I mentioned the word regulator. When you see the president of the bank, I mentioned the word regulator.
You know, I heard Ted's a good debater. I said, he is a good debater, but he can't talk, okay? Bad talker. He's a good debater, bad talker. So he's over here. They asked him about waterboarding. They said, "Senator Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding?" "Oh, I don't want to talk about it." You know, he didn't want to talk about waterboarding because too controversial. And I'm saying to myself, they're chopping off heads. He doesn't want to talk about waterboarding. "Senator Cruz, what do you think of waterboarding?"
I don't want to talk about it. You know, he didn't. I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
So ISIS is very tough. Do you know what? You get me out of here, right?
Mention the word regulated.
I don't want to talk about it. You know, he didn't.
So what happened is very simple. I said this, and all of a sudden, because I said it very, very expressively, and again, I'm trying to show somebody groveling to take back the statement he made, because he wanted to take it back because it wasn't good for the people that he knows and likes at the New York Times, the Washington Post, etc. He did this when he was at the Washington Post. So I was very expressive in saying it, and they said I was mocking him. I would never mock a person that has difficulty. I would never do that. I'm telling you, I would never do it. I would never do it. I would never do it. I don't care if I liked the person or didn't, and I don't know this person. So now this person is going around saying, I did know him, that he reported on me in the 1980s, and all of that stuff, right? I don't know him. I really don't know him. I was very expressive in saying it. I don't take that back because the person was groveling in terms, if you read his statements about, well, did you say this and did you write this paragraph? He was really grasping for straw. And I will tell you that it is just such a shame when a disgusting newspaper like the New York Times, when some of the media, like CNN in particular, was just really unfair. When they say things that were so unfair, people that have disability, hi folks, people that have a difficulty, I cherish them. These are incredible people, and I just want to put that to rest. I didn't know him. It's possible, probable that I met him somewhere along the line, but I deal with reporters every day. Many of them I never even see. There are many people that I know even by name, although I don't remember his name, and I do have a great memory, but I will tell you, I don't know him. Now he's going, well, he knew me, and we were on first name. Give me a break. Give me a break. And the problem is, he's using what he's got to such a horrible degree. I think it's disgraceful that what he's got. And I think the New York Times, frankly, should give me an apology. I do. I think they should give me. And I'd love to have the apology before they go out of business. I would love that. I would love it.
That reporter that you didn't like what they wrote, they said you mocked his disability.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't know who the reporter was. He was groveling because he wrote a good story. Excuse me, I'll get it straight. For you, only for you. He wrote a story. It was a great story for what I was saying, because I said dancing on the streets or dancing on the roofs or whatever when the World Trade Center came down.
About 9/11.
Right. This guy worked for Washington Post or one of the newspapers. He wrote a story sort of indicating that I was right. And then all of a sudden, that was many years ago, that was when it came down. Then all of a sudden, he took the story back when people started calling him about it. Well, you wrote the story. Trump was right. Did you write the story? And he was groveling. He didn't know how to answer it. He was trying to say that his story was wrong. I had no idea what he looked like. He said he met me and I knew. He said he met me in the 1980s. I had no idea. I spend millions of dollars making buildings good for people that are disabled. Okay, millions and millions of dollars. Do you think I'd ever do a thing like that? What I was indicating was a man that was groveling. He was groveling to try and change a story that he had written many years before so that it worked out badly for Trump. So I do that, and they said I was mocking his disability. I had no idea that he was disabled. None. He said I met him before, many, many years ago. I have no idea who he is.
I don't know what I said. I don't remember.
So ISIS is very tough. Do you know what? You get me out of here, right?
Mention the word regulated.
I don't want to talk about it. You know, he didn't.